Oh, I don't know what to say. I don't really know what to say. I was preparing myself to come on here and admit defeat. I thought I was going to come on here and be ranting and raving and losing the plot, if I'm completely honest with you lot. And to be honest, I have lost the plot. But in a very, very good way, a very unexpected way. I did not see that coming. And I'll tell you one thing, right? If there is such thing as history repeating itself, I'm pretty sure we have just delivered that in the perfect possible way to Fulham Football Club. Because that, ladies and gentlemen, is what you call a smash and grab. Chelsea away at Craven Cottage, but victorious for the second season running. 2-1 to Chelsea. A second half comeback and a scoreline that we really do need to speak about, because I don't know whether or not Chelsea deserved that. I don't know whether or not Enzo Maresca is even the right man for this club, and I don't know whether or not I give a fuck. Let's get in to the match itself. But people, before we get into all of that, please do me a massive favour. If you are new around here, please hit the subscribe button if you like the content. Smash a like on the video right now if you are happy that Chelsea officially are still in the race for Champions League football. And if you are one of the regular viewers that is watching the channel consistently but isn't already subscribed, please just hit the subscribe button. It's really, really easy and it helps me out a lot. Right, I've got to be honest with you lot. I did not have a good feeling about today's game. I predicted a 1-1 draw in the match preview with Josh Oveste yesterday, and after the game began, I didn't really think that I was going to be wrong on that prediction. I thought it would be a draw, maybe even a Fulham win, to be honest. The team sheet that we predicted, or not even predicted, it's never a predicted team sheet. The team sheet that we wanted to see is exactly 11-4-11 what we started with. And we very much doubted that, myself and Josh. We doubted that Reece James would start in this game, but he did. Enzo Maresca somewhat got the team sheet right. However, we will touch on the formation, the system, and the way it played out as the game goes on, and as the video goes on, I should say. But this on screen is obviously what we saw on the pitch. Now, Chelsea came out, we were sort of playing all right. We weren't playing bad. We were playing to what I expect us to play to of recent. And 19 minutes in is when the game really, really starts to drum home what my fears were pre-match. Reece James loses possession. It's for the second time in a matter of minutes, really. And it's for a second time in a central area that he's just not used to playing in my opinion. You know, Enzo Maresca had quotes this season about, I've always seen Reece James as a central midfielder. I don't know. That's a little bit weird for me. Like, I get it. He played there a bit at Wigan. Enzo Maresca, was he watching Wigan at that time? Has anyone watched Wigan since they've been relegated from the Premier League? Do you know what I mean? Can anyone in here name a Wigan player, a current one? I can't. So fuck knows. I don't have a clue, but whether or not he has been watching Reece James at centre mid and always felt he was a centre mid or what, or whether or not that's just one of the things that he seems to say. And let's be honest, of recent, he said a lot of ill-timed and ill-judged quotes in press conferences, like, I've only got one way of playing, which I would argue was pretty much proven today, but let's not be too negative for right now. Reece James, he's tasked with inverting. I don't know why he's tasked with inverting when we got Cucurella on the other side, who last season did it really, really well. But either way, he is tasked with inverting, and it is a tough task to do. When you got Robinson, who is one of the best left backs in the league, one of the best attacking young left backs in world football, if I can ever fucking get it out of my mouth. When you've got him bombing up the flank, and you've got Fulham, you know, doing pretty well in the midfield battle, I would say, I think it's really, really bad management to put Reece James in that inverted role. Ultimately, we'll see him there again, probably next week, because Caicedo picked up a yellow card today. But we'll speak about that. Either way, it is Ryan Sessegnon, who dispossesses him off of the ball. It's put forward to Alex Iwobi. He takes the shot on his left foot, drills it past Robert Sanchez from just inside the box, making it 1-0 to Fulham. We try and apply a little bit of pressure towards the end of that first half. Not too much happens, really. A couple of half chances and whatnot. Half time, you see Jadon Sancho replace Noni Madueke. Malo Gusto replaces Reece James. Jadon Sancho replacing Noni Madueke. I understand last time Jadon Sancho replaced the player, came on in the Premier League, scored a beauty, so I'm not going to moan about it all that much. At the same time, I look at Noni Madueke and I think, well, at the moment, across the front line, and yes, I'm ready, the match proved me wrong here, but across that front line, he looks like our most creative player at this moment in time. I know he's just coming back from injury, but fuck me, he's going to have a few months off in a couple of games' time, do you know what I mean? Like, let's just fucking run these boys into the ground. And we'll speak about doing that, we're going to have to now, because now Romeo Lavia's back on the bench. He needs to be fucking playing in the next game as well. But anyway, I'm digressing, my head's all over the place. Half-time, I'm getting ready to throw the towel in, I believe. I believe I am. And I will still touch on my huge concerns around Enzo Maresca, so stay tuned for that. But half-time, we do make changes. We do start to look a bit better. 55 minutes into that second half, Pedro Neto has a chance from about 8 yards out. He really needs to be blasting it home, and he's blasting it at Bert Leno. He really needs to be scoring that one for me. 83 minutes in, right? 5 minutes of being subbed on. Now, there are a few of you, and quite a few of you, I would say a majority just about of you, who backed me when I, not put my neck on the line, but when I said, listen, this Tyrick George, he's fucking good. I can tell. I can just tell he's good. And I was saying this on the pre-season tour of America, when we played Wrexham, when we played Club America, Man City, whoever we were playing, Celtic even, when we lost, I was saying, this Tyrick George, he's fucking good. He is good. He showed just how good he is over the last couple of weeks. And within 5 minutes of coming on, Tyrick George gets Chelsea the equaliser. Really well taken, instinctive finish. Wise beyond his years, to be honest. The ball's dinked over the top from Trevor Chalobah, chested down by Pedro Neto. I believe that both Cole Palmer and a Fulham player, I don't know who it even was, both go for the ball, get a little bit tangled up. It ends up dropping on the half volley to Tyrick George. He smashes it home on his right foot past Leno. It was perfectly taken. It wasn't just about the power on the shot. It was the placement of it. It was what part of the goal he put it into. Smashes it home, bottom left corner. Absolutely brilliant. And at that point, I'm thinking, right, okay, we're going to come away with a 1-1 draw. How do I spin this? You know? What do I want to go with in this post-match review? Because a lot of you guys recently have been reaching out to me and saying, you know, like, the penny's finally dropped and even you've changed now and whatever. And it's honestly not that, actually. Like, if you guys knew what's been going on in my personal life, you'd realise that in any videos that I make at the minute, I'm not really the most excitable. We've had a lot of bad news and whatnot. But at the same time, I'm massively affected when Chelsea don't play good football, and we haven't played good football in the best part of 6 fucking months. However, 92 minutes in to this match, Chelsea go full on smash and grab. But before we get into all that, are you finding it difficult to make time for a balanced meal? Well, that is where Huel comes in. Huel is spelled Huel and is today's sponsor of the Joey Knight podcast. And the black edition, which I have got in my hand right now, is a meal in a bottle. It's got 35 grams of protein, 26 vitamins and minerals, and it's low on sugar, and it's all in this one little bottle. And you know you can trust these guys because they have sold over 500 million meals already. You can find them in your local Tesco's, Sainsbury's, or at the Huel website itself. And for new customers shopping at Huel.com, you can try it with £10 off plus a free gift by just using
my exclusive code JoeyKnight at Huel.com. Now, I don't know about you, but for me, time goes like that, especially in the morning. And all of a sudden, I need to be out the door. I have not got time to cook myself up an omelette or a breakfast. So I drink one of these bad boys in the safe state of mind, knowing I have just had a healthy meal. And the best part of it, trust me, I can vouch for it, they taste banging. The downside of these things is always that they don't taste very nice. This one literally just tastes like a chocolate milkshake. I wouldn't know the difference. And they've got loads of other flavours. Strawberry, banana, vanilla. They've even got iced latte. And every single one of those flavours is low in sugar. And lastly, Huel is incredibly affordable. It is a budget option if you need to get a quick meal on the go. So make sure you support the channel by supporting the guys who support us, and use my code JoeyKnight at the checkout for £10 off and a free gift when you purchase your first Huel. Thank you very much to Huel for supporting the channel. Let's get back into the video.
Do we deserve it? Probably not. You know? Do I give a fuck? Probably not. No, definitely not. Does it make me any more confident going forwards that we're going to get Champions League football? Probably not. I don't know. But what it does mean is that mathematically, we are sat right now in the Champions League places because Enzo Maresca has an absolute fucking touch right now. Ten Hag vibes, I would say, out here at this current moment in time, because individual brilliance pays off. Oh my God, the ball works its way up to the right-hand side. Enzo Fernandez manages to put the ball across to Pedro Neto, a man who I've rated, right, since day one. And on the channel, you can check the receipts. I've always rated him. I've always rated Pedro Neto, but I'd be lying to say that he hasn't delivered or contributed the amount of goals and assists that I expected him to, that maybe the price tag warranted, and that I felt he would after the first few showings of him. But I think he's just made up for it all there. I honestly do think he has. The first touch, unreal, to be able to swivel and pivot round the side, and then he smashes it home past Bert Leno to win us the game. Full on smash and grab from Chelsea. It takes us up to 5th in the Premier League. And now Nottingham Forest, right, they play tomorrow. We've got to rely on Spurs to do something against Nottingham Forest. And do you know what? Not even do something. We've got to rely on Spurs to beat Nottingham Forest. And I don't fucking fancy Spurs beating Nottingham Forest. But if there was ever a world where there was a team that were going to inadvertently do Chelsea a massive, massive favour and really help us do something that we don't deserve, which is finishing these Champions League spots, it would be Spurs. It would be very Spursy of Spurs to do it. So now I think Spurs are going to fucking beat Forest tomorrow. I think Spurs are going to beat Forest, and we're going to end up sitting pretty in those Champions League spots until at least next weekend. But I said that I would get on to Enzo Maresca, and we've got to speak about him. We've got to speak about him, people. Let me take a sip of my drink before I do, right? I want to make my stance very clear on this. Very, very clear, right? Enzo Maresca can only work with the tools that he's given, right? The tools that he's given, in my opinion, are definitely good enough tools. Forget value, forget the cost of the assets we have. Just the players that we have, yeah? Not the ceiling, not the potential, what they are right now. They're definitely good enough to be above this season's version of Manchester City. You might call that ridiculous, but I think they are. They're definitely good enough to be above, I would say, this season's version of Aston Villa in the league. They're definitely good enough to be above, I would say, would I say Newcastle? No, I don't think they are. I think Newcastle probably have a better starting 11 than Chelsea. But then again, depth-wise, they probably are good enough. But I do think Newcastle have a better starting 11 than Chelsea. You can't really deny it, can you? Can't really deny it. They've got a better goalkeeper. They've, for the most part, got better defenders. Their midfield works better. And they've got a way better striker. So there you go. But either way, right, you can only work with the tools that you're given. Also, we are not in a world anymore, and I stated this when I was pissed the other night on Chelsea Fan TV. Yes, I remember, just about. I stated this the other night on Chelsea Fan TV. Maybe I can articulate it a little bit better now that I'm sober. We're not shopping in a market where we can go out and get Zidane, where we can go out and probably even like up-and-coming managers. I know he's proven it by winning the Bundesliga, but Xavi Alonso, for example, right? I said that maybe we could attract a Carlo Ancelotti. I don't think that's going to happen because he's took the Brazil job. So, do I blame Enzo Maresca wholly? No, not necessarily, because I think that you have appointed someone who's unproven, and the season has pretty much played out the way that Leicester fans warned me it was going to. Start good, tail off. That's exactly what's happened, really. And now, in our wins, I am getting Ten Hag vibes. And a few of you might know what I'm going on about here. Towards the end of Ten Hag's spell at Man United, every time it looked like it was like, oh, he's fucked it or whatever, he'd pull a result out the bag, and it would never be from a great performance. It would never be from a good performance. I didn't think that was a good performance from Chelsea. I'm going to be honest. Did you? I didn't think that was a good performance, right? It would be individual brilliance. And individual brilliance, how can anyone say individual brilliance didn't win us that game today? It wasn't free-flowing football. It wasn't great patterns of play, albeit the Pedro Neto goal at the end was a good pattern of play there, but it wasn't consistent, great patterns of play. It was individual brilliance. And maybe that's what it might take now to get us over the line. Individual brilliance in matches to come. Maybe that's what it may take. But yeah, I mean, in terms of Enzo Maresca's management, listen, I've seen Reece James as a centre-back, a left-back, a centre midfielder, a right-sided centre-back. I haven't seen him as a right-back all season, right? I don't know. The funny thing about it is I can point to Cucurella on the other side, who I would say was less advanced today, right? It was Reece inverting into midfield. I can point to Cucurella and say he did that role perfect last season, joining up with Caicedo, supporting him, lunging in, getting stuck in to challenges, giving Enzo Fernandez a little bit more freedom to play in that role and to be able to be a little bit more creative and move the balls onto the forward line, right? But he chooses not to do that. He chooses to have Reece James do that. I don't know why he chooses to have Reece James doing that. There were so many opportunities today for us to whip in balls, and our best crosser of the ball is in a central position. That is on Enzo Maresca. You could look at it and you could go, well, hold on. Most goals since December is Cucurella. Yeah, okay, brilliant. But he's played more matches and played in more advanced positions than Reece James. If you had played Reece James that advanced, I think he'd have the most goals. Do you know what I mean? I think he probably would. So it is what it is. But yeah, I don't know. There's so many things. Like, in the meantime, you're looking at that. You've got players that, if players are down tools, right, and clearly they haven't. Let's keep this positive, right? But if players are down tools, you'd be able to see it. I don't see that. I see Caicedo and Cucurella jumping into challenges. I see Nicholas Jackson chasing down the goalkeeper when the ball was going back. I see us coming up for headers. I don't see a lack of effort. And then I have to look at it and go, well, if our starting 11's better than their starting 11, and it's not a one-off, consistently week in, week out, we're underperforming, then it's got to be on the manager. And what he's given to the manager comes from above him. It comes from the top. But we know we can't do fuck all about that at the moment. I don't like it, but we can't. So Enzo Maresca is underperforming at this moment in time. He is underperforming. But at the same time, somehow, we've just managed to get a win there. And we're up to 5th in the Premier League. So maybe we can rely on a springboard from this result. Hopefully. Maybe we can. I mean, look at Man United, man. Look at Man United. Do I think they're going to get any better in the Premier League? No. But after that comeback the other night, do I now think they're going to go and win the Europa League? Probably. So I think that maybe after that comeback, we can go and beat Everton. One thing we've got going against us now is Caicedo is out for the Everton game and the Liverpool game. And that pretty much means we're fucked. It means that we're going to see Reece James in that role again, when I would much rather see him at right back. Honestly, I'd so much rather see him at right back. And do you know what you do? Do you know what you honestly do here? Really, really simple. Just chuck Romeo Lavia in there, mate. Just chuck him in there. And do you know what? It sounds awful, like we're talking about a man's career here. But if Lavia can't make it through, I don't know, an hour of that game after he's been back training, come off, maybe have someone else come on, I don't know, even a Kiernan Dewsbury Hall, someone like that. Maybe Reece James moves into that role. Maybe Cucurella does it and him and Caicedo swap sides. I don't know. But then we have Romeo Lavia for the full 90 against Liverpool. I believe that's our only hope of being able to be competitive in midfield. I think it's our only hope of being able to be competitive in midfield against Everton. So what does that say about us being competitive in midfield against Liverpool? Fuck me. I don't know, mate. I don't know. But yeah, man, I've got to be honest. I'm fucking buzzing with the win. I'm absolutely buzzing with it. But at the same time, I have to be honest with you lot and admit that even in winning that game, I think it's been the best part of 5 months now since I've seen us play back-to-back games where we've played good football. And I wouldn't class today's game as being a great performance by Chelsea. But we did what we needed to do. And I've always been the one that has banged on about the results mattering. And the results do matter at this point in the season, you know. And I am hoping that we rely on individual brilliance to be able to pull us out. And if a few of the lads like Cole Palmer, who looked a bit shot for ideas today, a couple of times he had shots. One went at Leno, one he blasted over the bar. Nicholas Jackson hasn't got his shooting boots back on yet. If a few of them can up their levels, then I'm a believer. I'm a believer that we can get over the line. I do think we do. I do think we can. All of a sudden, that Newcastle match away is massive. All of a sudden, I didn't think this, but Nottingham Forest on the last day of the season is fucking huge. Absolutely huge. But again, it comes down to me speaking about the fact that we're relying on individual brilliance here, because I'm not relying on Enzo Maresca to change anything. He said in his press conference that he won't be doing that. So if he's saying that, then I'm going to take him at his word. And I'd use this logic, right? When things were going well for Enzo Maresca, that's when you need to start tweaking things a little bit and spicing things up and bringing different styles and methods into your training. Because I know full well, right, if I've got a sparring partner and I spar twice a week with that guy for 2 weeks, if at first the spars are even or he's getting the better of me, the second I start consistently getting the better of that sparring partner, my coach takes him out the gym and someone else comes in for me. Better. Ups the level. And that is how you remain improving. And maybe Enzo Maresca hasn't done that in training. I don't know. But he does look like he's run out of ideas a little bit. And it's mad that I'm saying that after we've come back and he's clearly inspired something in a half-time team talk. And, you know, definitely his changes because Tyrick George has come on and scored a goal there. Maybe I'm being harsh. I don't know. My head's all over the gaff. But I'm starting to think Chelsea might get Champions League. And before you comment it in the comment section, because consistently I've had these comments in the comment section, right? Before you comment it and go, well, even if we get it, we go out in the group stages, or, well, it's not even group stages no more, but do you know what I mean? Like, we go out of it early, we won't deserve it, we'll be shit. Negative outlook, mate. Negative outlook. If your friend is a 25-year-old virgin and he finally takes the V-plates off, yeah, you don't then go, well, you'll never be able to wife her off. You'll never get in a relationship with her. She's way too good for you. You go, well fucking done, mate. Good on ya. And if she jogs him on, she jogs him on. But at least he got it in. And it's really weird analogy. It's a weird one, isn't it? But that's how I feel. That's how I feel. People, let me know how you feel in the comments section below, and whether you've made sense of any of this madness that I've just sprouted. I love you all very much. I'll see you all in the next one.